Alright guys, welcome back to another episode of Trainz 2022. We're getting back at it again with Eagle River enhancements. I've been working on them since my last video, just in my off time to fiddle around. I've been a little busy to do a proper video, so unfortunately some things had to have been done off video so that, I could at least make some progress when time permitted. So I've gotten a lot of stuff done. I'll show off what I've done so far, and then we'll continue fiddling along. So for those of you that are just tuning in or checking out, it's a little series I'm doing for Giggles and Squiggles on updating enhancing the Eagle River previously enhanced pack. Jointed Rail already did an enhancement for it. Overall, pretty good job, but it still definitely needed work. They didn't play with the track work or anything. A lot of the scenery just either it didn't work or didn't make sense or whatnot. So I've been playing around with that, and yeah, it's all on video. So anyway, kicking things off, as you can see here, I have built a new servicing shed. It kind of irked me how we have 3 official steam locomotive packs for Eagle River and nowhere to service or park them. So I simply expanded off of the turntable that was already built into Eagle River over here at Keene, and I reoriented it. Obviously, the 2-track stub was facing this way. Flipped it around, pointed it that way. So now we have a servicing shed and a display shed for, whatever. At some point I'll get around to reskinning this stuff for Eagle River, because honest to gosh, these 2 locomotives really fit in well on this route. But different story, different topic, different day. So I have a new servicing facility. Added a little bit of a yard. We have a 2-track storage over here. Added another track over here so that we can fit all of the current passenger stock that has been made for Eagle River. Now, it is not all of the numbers that are available to us. Trainz did a pretty wide range of automatic numbers for the Eagle River cars, so this is nowhere near all of the numbers, but it seemed like a good set. We got a 4-car set for short trains going wherever. We've got the full classic with the open air cars and whatnot. We've got the more modern set over here and the dinner train, and then of course we've got the tea kettles parked over there, along with a freeware F7 pack that is available on the download station. It seems to kind of fit that heritage rail operation idea. Normally heritage operations have a diesel or 2 for whatever reason, backup or something. So I just noticed that chair does not belong there. I'll have to work on that. But I've done that. We come over here. I added another storage track in the locomotive servicing in the proper normal company servicing area. Added an extra track for whatever storage locomotive. As you can see, I've got a freeware plow over here. Added a 2nd track for storage over here. Got rid of the coaling tower right here, because you couldn't drive through it. I mean, you could. The locomotive would just phase under it, but that was kind of the issue, is it was phasing under it because the coaling tower is too short. The track ran all the way through, and the coaling tower itself wasn't meant to run all the way through. So I just got rid of it. We've got kind of this crane over here with a coal pile that kind of fits the idea of, well, the locomotives can come over here. I mean, they already have to. They have to back through here anyway. So we've got a sand tower. We've got a coaling tower. I placed a water tower there. So locomotives have their simulated servicing facilities at least. So we got another storage track for whatever. We got a car servicing facility back here. Still working on the scenery around it, but kind of a car shop, two stall car shop for heritage operations to restore cars that they get hold of, or the railroad itself to be able to service any of its stock for, again, the giggles and squiggles. What else? What else have we done? I've been working a little bit back here at the X coaling facility. I'm trying to make it look like a reactivated area. I think I'm setting it up for gravel so that you can take it all the way to Beaver Cove where the narrow gauge area is. Load and unload. You have a point A, point B for a short gravel set. Obviously, it's not the main focus of the map. The main focus is logging, but it does give a little bit of variety in your freight operations. I do overall like the setup this yard back here. I might still play with like some crossover tracks in here so that locomotives can run around trains and whatnot, but this makes a pretty good storage yard back here for Keene and the railroad's various rolling stock and such. Good storage area. And you know, you can fit 5, 6, 7 gravel hoppers over here to load up and take into Beaver Cove. So been working on this. I didn't do much with the track work, obviously. I stretched out this abandoned line here and reconnected it. It'll give us a little bit of like mixed freight-ish. So there's these industries over here. I don't know what you might want, textiles or whatever. It's kind of something to make use of some boxcars. Mixed trains, again, not the focus of the route. It's mostly logging, but it does give you the opportunity to have some mixed trains. So we round out that kind of mixed operations with this little flat car over here. We got another. This spot over here was already included with the route. I haven't done much to enhance it yet. I'm going to, but we've got this over here. So we got a couple spots for box cars. A couple of these 60-foot flat cars fit over here. I did put a jointed rail multi-industry over here for loading and unloading different equipment that we see over here in this kind of sale lot. So bulldozers, these dump trucks and loaders and whatnot. It will unload those here. So you can fit 2 or 3 of these flat cars over here. Again, you're not going to get any kind of like mile-long mixed trains on this route, but you do get the opportunity to kind of get some flavor of mixed traffic for, you know, whatever reason. Just for giggles, I had one over here. Couple box cars, flat car. You know, you can get some operations like this where they're not particularly long, but those kind of mix things up so you're not constantly looking at heritage passengers and logging flat cars. I'll have to go back and replace this now that it's way out here. I was testing with it. And when you're in the main route editor, it adds this to the route period. So no matter what you do, this will be out here. I had to remember to get rid of it. Where are we at? Over here. So I've done that. What else have I done that's notable in this area? Oh, right. If you kind of look here, I have done an expansion off of the lake here to make it connected to whatever, off into the oblivion. I would try to kind of hide this to make it look like it goes off into the distance, but it's kind of hard to. It's kind of one of the limitations of Trainz. Without just expanding that off into the oblivion and adding water all the way off into the oblivion. It's just no good way to expand off of that and hide it. But it works for what I'm aiming for. So we've got an invisible rail here for a waterway that makes its way over to Chidlow area. kind of goofy setting this up because the water levels are obviously very different. But it's hidden fairly well behind the mountains here and these sections, so you don't really notice it. But I believe it's the hunting shops, or the back shops, or Trainz Forge. One of them had these really cool old drivable boats that I've never been able to make use out of. So I thought, you know what, these would kind of fit in cool here. So we've got this old steam ferry here that makes, you know, trips across from Keene over here to Chidlow. So I worked on adding a little dock over here. Now, I got to work on Chidlow area to make it visitable. I don't know if that's a word, but maybe more touristy. You know, give us a reason to ride the boat all the way over here and back, other than a trailer park with a train station and a caboose. So I definitely still got to work on the design around here, but still an idea in progress. I also added, as you can see, another invisible line that's kind of up in the air. Get it? Up in the air. Ha. Because I could not for the life of me find a float plane that wasn't a physically functioning driver equipped item. So I thought, you know what, screw it. Why not have a float plane flying around the map? So we've got a float plane. I thought it kind of fits in, you know, with the lakes, the heavily wooded mountains. You get kind of that Alaskan bush plane vibes. So, you know, it's just kind of something fun. I'm gonna set it up so that whenever you load in a scenario or whatnot, the AI takes over and the plane flies around in the circle constantly. The riverboat will run around constantly. I got another spot where I added like a tugboat to run around in a loop. You know, there's just some other little things like that just to make things physically move, because it's cool. You know, it adds a little bit of life to the layout. Makes things look a little more animated. So that'll fly around. I added that. Obviously, I played a little bit out here in the lake. We got a shipwreck because, I don't know, why not? That's kind of, I found the asset and I was like, that's kind of cool. Got a fishing trawler out here. Animated fishing trawler too, so, you know, another perk. Kind of sways there in the water. It's got the circles. It's got the lights. You know, another one of those cool items. The dock work to match. So we got a proper like docking facility here for the bigger boats. And the river boat come over here. And I got kind of a museum going over here. Kind of a naval museum of the area. So like during the Civil War we had something going on, or maybe the United States needed some naval protection out here. So we've got an old we got an old gunboat here. I don't know. Seemed to fit. It was a cool asset that I wanted to use. And then we got this SAP paddle wheel boat. Because again, it looks cool. I wanted to use it, so. Maybe a naval museum. Maybe they function. I don't know. Maybe they go out or tootle around in the harbor here for demonstrations or something. A lot of smaller details. I got a Taco Bell here I'm going to play with. Trying to figure out how I want to put it here. Add some food around here. I'm going to play a little bit with the tourism industry in here, but I've played a lot with like a lot of minor things that if I don't point out, most people probably wouldn't notice. Like I put street lamps. Unfortunately, they don't light up, but I like the classic street lamp look. Added those up and down the road. A bunch of spots along these roads and whatnot that I added more cars. Still a lot to do, but I don't know if I'm gonna keep this road over here. It kind of irks me because this road doesn't make sense. Like, what was it coming to service? The coaling tower over here? I mean, maybe. Now that I think about it, maybe. Maybe I'll have that road come out here and have parking around the coaling tower. Maybe that makes sense. I don't know what this shed's for. Diamond River Mining Company. Whatever. So we worked on that. Boogie and boogie up the mountain here. I changed the terrain texture. I still haven't figured out how to get rid of this PBR grass. I thought changing the texture would get rid of it, but it doesn't. It kind of irks me. I don't like how most of the way up the mountain is buried under grass, as if it's not used. Still trying to figure that one out, but I did change the texture to a more dark gravel. Make it look like a roadbed instead of the plain grass texture that was under it. So that makes its way all the way up to the Camp E area here. I got to rename some stuff, but I did put another engine facility over here because we have logging engines that are available. Really nice quality logging engines. Well, one of them is very old, but we have a Willamette from Trainz Forge that looks really, really good. That's made for Eagle River. Whoops. And as I stated earlier, we have nice tea kettles and nowhere to service them. So I thought, you know what, it'd be kind of cool to have kind of a little separate operation going on, specifically for the logging industry, geared entirely towards the logging industry. So up here we've got a water and oil tank over here for refilling purposes. We've got a 2-track shed here for the locomotives. I made this little set off here. I don't know why. It fits like 2-3 cars, which, you know, maybe that's the extent of the operations. But we've got a Willamette, and we've got a Eagle River Climax here. Actually, technically we have 2 of them. I really don't use this all black one very often just because it's all black. Everything's almost the exact same texture color. That's makes it really hard to notice any of the fun of a Climax. So I usually use this number 18 here, but we got a Climax, we got a Willamette, and this switchback mountain up to the logging camp always made sense to me for these logging locomotives because there's nowhere else on the route that there's a need for geared locomotives. So up here it makes sense for them. Makes sense for them to live here, I thought, you know. So we put a servicing facility over here for our geared locomotives. I'm going to expand off of it a little bit. I built another storage track over here. So that maybe people get to come up here and see how a lumber camp works and how it's changed over the years, how a modern lumber camp works, because it's something we don't think about, something we don't see. But you go to Home Depot, your lumber had to come from somewhere. Probably came from a logging, it probably came from a sawmill, obviously, but that wood itself probably came from a logging camp somewhere. And I guarantee you that logging camp does not look like it did back in the day. Boy, I love this bulldozer, but I gotta work on the terrain. Cause it's long. It's got a long track and kind of floats in one spot, doesn't in the other. Matter of fact, let's see. There we go. Take you. It was a hard item to place to begin with because the blasted line is so long. But it's just kind of cool. Again, some little things like this that move, function, make smoke, go somewhere. Adds a little bit of life to the route. I had to have a little fun over here. Yeah, this doesn't fit the time period at all. You got some guys over here sawing away at an old Mack truck. Steam tractor with a trailer because, you know, again, why not? Something kind of fun. Sitting over here behind the wood chip shed. I need to add a... Oh, it's got one. Never mind. Does it function? Maybe I never noticed this. Cues. It does not function. However, I can play with it. So we have a jointed rail multi-industry here for unloading a flat car for whatever one would need up here in the logging camp. So I need to make that functional so that we can bring up some Caterpillar generators or bulldozers, loaders, whatever. But really, this is like the big track work, the big noticeable stuff that I've done up here at Beaver Cove, along with the switchback here. So we worked on that. While I'm thinking about it, let's come over here and get rid of you. Otherwise, I'll forget you're here. Get rid of. I haven't done much with Camp A yet. I want to fill it in a little bit. Once again, you know, we got this whole area cleared out of trees and not a single person out here actually physically working. So I need to fill it in a little bit. But I haven't gotten to Camp A yet. It's not high up on my priority list. And I haven't gotten to Myrtle either. I need to, because Myrtle has another SATA or a wood chip loader, but no multi-industry. So between here and the Camp B area, you could have a decent sawmill train or a wood chip train. I gotta make that functional, and then probably add another storage track for the empties. And then of course make the whole logging lumber industry over here look a little more busy. But I haven't done anything with Myrtle really. That again hasn't been top priority yet. One of those fun little scenes I added for giggles and squiggles. We got a little farm down here in the little trough, because again, why not? Something fun. I haven't played with this spot yet. I need to. So in the old original Eagle River map, this was actually functional, and per like or maybe the switch still is functional. Yeah, it is. It's still attached. It's really hard to tell. But per their little like lore thing and whatnot, there's like a farmer's market set out. Farmers can come put whatever in a boxcar, send it off. But if I remember right, that's what this is for. But I need to play with it. I might make it functional again. Maybe the farmer down there has got some bees or something. I don't know. Apples. So we got Nile over here. I haven't done anything to fill it in. It's, I believe, is supposed to be like the railroad's storage track for worn out cars or whatever. I'm going to turn it into the maintenance away, because there's nice maintenance away items from Jointed Rail. Their, quote, brake car for Eagle River is technically a weed sprayer car. And then they've got some maintenance away chemical cars for the weed sprayer, so I thought, well, why not? So we got a whole maintenance away train going on here. Another no plow stored, so I might add some more facilities and people around here to make the maintenance away stuff look cared for-ish. But that's an idea going on there. And we continue. There's another spot. I don't remember where it was. I had a little bit of fun with it. Airplane. See, I don't mind these, but they don't move. So when the train's going by and you just see this plane up here with a shadow, it's kind of noticeable. So I'm going to get rid of it. The airplane hanging in the air. No movement. Of course, Chidlow. I did a lot of this work in video already, but I've played a little bit. Obviously, I had you know, I changed ground texture over here, added this kind of fun display caboose, because why not? Some more cars. But I haven't done much more over here. I plan to, just not yet. Matter of fact, a lot of my work that I haven't done on video has been up at Beaver Cove. Dang, how did I miss it? Where was it? Oh, there it is. I added this scene. This I thought was kind of cool. A bus hit a car. The way that car crumpled, they're probably dead, but we don't have to think about that. It's a video game. A bus hit a car. Firefighters over here. There's I put a smoke and fire effect under here, and the firefighter actually sprays water. Unfortunately, I couldn't find a fire truck that has all the lights flashing. Kind of sad about that, but you know, what can you do? It's kind of a fun scene. Why not? We get into Beaver Cove. So over here, again, still a little bit of a work in progress. I've got to make this side functional, but the gravel pit that I showed you guys in Keene, this will be the unload over here. There's the track. I got to modify it. We have a wood chip unloader over here and a wood chip loader for the narrow gauge. I might change that though. I might make the narrow gauge carry the gravel because we have a wood chip unloader over there, right? And it gets transferred over to these big wood chip piles. They get put on a conveyor that takes it directly over there. So I think I'm going to change the narrow gauge to haul the gravel that gets dumped off because, again, we have the gravel pit in Shidlow and we have the gravel pit in Keene now that gives us some gravel carrying operations. So you can come over here, dump off the gravel cars, and then load them into, or transfer them to the narrow gauge and have the narrow gauge carry gravel on out to the ship here. I'm using a tea kettle for giggles and squiggles because I like tea kettles, but if one's aiming for a more modern look, we have there's some options. I don't know why this looks like a snow effect, but that is wildly noticeable. I extended this road. I made this a proper road because this area once again made 0 sense to me. We had a whole ship servicing facility here, or ship loading facility over here, a building and a road that went into the side of the mountain. And there's a loading dock over here for the narrow gauge and whatnot. But that was that. So I made this road actually run all the way through. It connects here. I might replace this dirt road with that road effect. But it runs all the way through here. I changed up the loading conveyor here to run over instead of under because I couldn't get the terrain to play right with the way that I wanted it to look. Obviously I changed up the narrow gauge tracks to be some more realistically used. We got a little good siding over here, park a box car, transfer for whatever reason. I might extend the narrow gauge out to be a full-blown operation later on, but that's way later on. I don't want to tackle what is effectively route creating right now, because to extend the narrow gauge, I mean, the route ends right here, so it would effectively have to go off around here, and I'd have to extend the mountains. So that's a future me problem. Beaver Cove. Haven't really done anything down here. I did add a lumber engine house, a switch engine house for Beaver Cove, so that something could stay dedicated over here, like the BW9 could stay dedicated here and switch out lumber cars. Because again, why not? it didn't make sense to leave it over here out in the open with nothing. So I added that. I added a couple things off in here, but it's kind of hard to point them out. I did stretch. This is something else I did. I stretched out the unloading point. So I pulled the tractor and whatnot over here. I pulled the unloader over here. It was over here, which doesn't seem like much, but it gives you an extra like 2-3 cars. So you can have still a decent sized train running along the route, and it makes a little more sense for unloading, because I think realistically, given this whole line, you would probably push a full load of cars off in here, and then it would just unload them out throughout the day. If I was looking at this from a realistic standpoint, but with this size, you can pretty much unload what you would expect coming out of one of these logging camps. A lot of my work off camera has been up here. I'm still playing with this curve. I don't like how sharp it is, but it's a hard one to modify and come out okay. Like, it starts off pretty gradual, and then like right here it gets noticeably tight. So I'm still trying to figure out how to stretch that out. Still not a fan of these houses. I'm probably going to swap those out, but I'm not there yet. I played with sidewalks. I added a sidewalk. Oh, that's different. Disappearing shadow. That's a different kind of bug, but anyway. Add a sidewalk. Sidewalk runs all the way down here. Flatten this out so these buildings aren't buried into the side of a hill, so that cars and whatnot can get back here to load, unload for these different buildings and whatnot. Obviously I gotta paint it, put a new texture down here, add some vehicles and such back here, fill it in a little more. My bus is sinking into the ground. Oop, too far. There we go. Obviously a bus stop. I redid the parking lot here, ish. Mostly like the entry, because the way Jointed Rail had it, this was part of the walkway here. So you had a parking lot here. Parking lot had cars in it. Well, but how'd the cars get in there? There's no entry or exit for the parking lot, so I made an entry exit for the parking lot here. Found these cool assets on the download station. It's kind of old, worn out steam locomotive. I was like, hey, that's kind of cool. I got to get rid of the Ohio Power Company on the side there, but yeah, it looked cool. I was like, dang, that'd go perfect over here. And then, of course, the K&L Trainz Camelback. Man, K&L does it so often, and it makes me so sad that he hasn't done a pack. But in a lot of his videos, his promotional videos and whatnot for like his freelance locomotives or locomotives that have a history of looking just like this right here, he'll have a model done up like this. Like the P&B had a worn out stripped looking locomotive for the P&B video. For the DB and EV, there's a worn out set for that. There's a couple others that he had done, if I remember right. But it'd be so cool if he'd release a pack just of derelict, worn out locomotives like this for using in scenario editing and whatnot. 'Cause I love these. I think they're cool. If you're aiming for a modern look, like the railroad set in today, then chances are a steam locomotive that's sitting outside on display is going to look just like this. Rusty, dusty, worn out. I mean, it's right here off the ocean. Salt water's going to be eating on it. Stuff like this would really fits in really well right here. So I got a kick out of it. I had to add both of them. So maybe in the lore they're thinking about restoring them, or At least cleaning them up, giving them a nice new look, maybe build a shed over them at some point later on in life. But they used to be switchers for Beaver Cove back in the day or something. I don't know. I'd like to re-letter the Campbell back here so it doesn't say Reading too. But future me problem. Played with the park here at the railroad station. I got a P47 up on display here. Nice Razorback. Love it. Had to use it. Although I don't like the green. That's a weird one. The windows are green. Nothing I can do about that. Added some cannons. Got a taco truck. A nice picnic area. Play area for some kids. And a gift shop, I think. I'll call it a gift shop. Maybe gift snacks or whatever. Because, frankly, what scenic railroad doesn't have a gift shop close by or in it? And pretty often, if they've got a baggage car or something, they'll do it up as a small snack and gift shop. So I thought, why not? It kind of worked out pretty well. Again, nickel plate road. It's the asset that I had. If I ever get around to relettering it, I will. Changed up some of these buildings, obviously. Because, again, why not? I stretched the runaround track a bit. I want to stretch it out a little bit further. But I'm not sure how I'm going to do it. I mean, obviously, it's going to have to go this way. So, I'm going to have to figure out how probably widen this cut out a little bit. Then the passing siding will just have to curve a little bit with the curve. Or one or the other is going to have to go with the curve. But I want to stretch this out a little bit further to accommodate more than the 4 or 5 car trains that it's set up for. But stretch it a little bit. And we have another functioning boat somewhere. I have another invisible track here, and there he is. Another one of those fun, drivable assets that I'll set up for the AI to run around, and yeah. Just a fun little tugboat, because, I mean, it doesn't fit necessarily-ish. We've got these big boats coming in and out of around this area, so obviously tugboats are gonna be around. Will a tugboat necessarily be tooling around the harbor? Probably not, but again, gives it a little life. A fun little boat. Gives me a reason to use an asset, and it just kind of toodles along, set to 10 mile an hour, so not fast. Just kind of oogies and boogies. An old World War II something, or World War I something. I forget what this is. A Liberty ship. It's an old Liberty ship. It's a low poly Liberty ship, but it does, have the lighting and sways back and forth. So maybe it's an old surplus that got sold off to the lumber company and they still use it because it's loaded down with logs or lumber. So I thought, fitting. Added that. I don't think I added you. I'm pretty sure you were already here. I added this boat. That one I do remember because, again, loaded down with logs. Another boat that fits the theme. Even though it is very obviously a steamship. Such is life. Maybe it got upgraded through the years. I don't know. But anyway. So that's about it, guys. As far as what I've already done. I'm not calling it the end of the video yet. But as far as what I've done off screen, that's been a lot of the work. And I know a lot of it seems mediocre, but sometimes it takes a while to get orientation right and whatnot. Like laying this track here, laying this invisible track, that's very much, it's about an hour for both these invisible track sets, because I got to get the height right. And the height for these invisible tracks is typically set up for whatever boat you intend to put on it, and that's the only boat that'll fit. So if I put any other boat on here, it's probably not going to look right. Oh, look, the RMS Mauritania. So, can we place you here? Sure we can. And it is riding way low in the water. Boat. Barge boat. Does the barge boat fit? Barge boat's sitting way up here. So that's a bit of a problem you run into with trying to do boats. Operational boats. They're never set to the same height. So it takes forever to get the boat heights right for invisible track. The airplane's a little more easier. You can kind of freehand it, just as long as it's, in the air and not in the ground. You're pretty much there, so yeah, the airplane track was fairly easy, but a lot of the other assets, the small details, it takes a lot. If you're a neat freak, it takes a lot. You gotta do it and do it right. So, but that's pretty much everything that I've done thus far. I like it. I think it looks cool. I think it adds a little bit more to the route, and it makes the route make a little more sense in its current phase of modern setup. Maybe after I get done or burned out on doing this one, I'll do the opposite and backdate it so that you make use of all the steam locomotive freeware assets that are available. That's a future me problem. But, anyways, I'm going to take a short breather and go grab me something to munch on while I sit here, because it's 11 a.m. I have been up since 5:30 a.m. and I have eaten nothing. I drank a cup of coffee and I haven't eaten anything at all, and it's showing because I am starving. Not that I really have anything to eat. Oh, the joys of being broke. But anyway, one moment. All right. High quality breakfast. Grapes and cheese, because both were on sale at Costco last time I got to go to Costco. As life goes, we do what we must to make our ends meet. So let's see. What do we want to play with today? I showed you guys Camp A. Haven't done anything with Camp A. Maybe we'll go up to Camp A and start fiddling around. Oh, the helicopters. We got a search and rescue helicopter team over here now. I don't think it was my own doing, but I'm pretty sure when Jointed Rail updated Eagle River, they had kind of an open air shed over here and a helicopter sitting outside with a lumber truck parked on the side of the road. The whole combination didn't make any sense, but the helicopter gave me an idea, and I was like, we're up here in the brush. search and rescue teams, you know, there'd be a search and rescue facility somewhere. So, why not here? We already had a helicopter. Why not expand on it? So, we have a helicopter search and rescue service. So let's go up to Camp A and do some stuff up here. Now, what do we want to do up here? Logging tractor coming out of the woods. I don't know why this asset is so light colored. It doesn't look terrible, but it looks like it's the photo texturing was taken out in the brightest sun that they could find. As if you're like out in a street corner in summer in Mexico. A barrel of logs. Interesting. Wooden logs. Ah, yes. The wood is indeed wood. Oh. Sometimes. Sometimes it's funny. Whoops. Ah, logs. Oops. No. Not there. Ah, no. Yeah, sure. Balls. There we go. Oriented some different direction. Couple logs out here sitting. I don't know. Why not? Tractor will come get it at some point. Log cradle pile. Oh, it's already lumber, so A-frame log loader. We already got one of those. Oh, what a problem to have. So many assets that I don't know what to choose from. Take note, Railworks, Dovetail Games, cough cough. We would like more assets for root building. I would like some, like, yeah, you're a bit dated. Aha, animated logger. Let's see, where's a tree that stands out? Over here. Boom. Now, I know he looks old. He looks from a different era. But we don't have some guy out here with a chainsaw having at it, so. You know what? Let's, matter of fact, let's look up chainsaw, see what we get. Chainsaw sounds. Yeah, there's a guy with a chainsaw. He looks more like a rescue guy, though. Chainsaw. chainsaw sound in this. Oh, hey, wait a minute. Sparrows in the background. You know what? Sure, why not? Now, I do things like that. I don't edit it out. So that people can see. Like, assets that I try to use more often than not come from the download station or one of the big notable major websites like Jointed Rail, Trainz Forge, the back shops, the Huntington shops, places like that that a lot of us already know and use. So I don't have people going, why that asset doesn't exist. Yeah, it does. Whoa. Rotatable. CP logs, PBR. Yeah. Yeah. Uh-oh. I love the logic of we got a guy in a pickup back here and we got a trailer with no truck. I need... Well, actually... Parked over here. A couple logging trucks. Why not? There we go. A couple more things to fit in. Skid log, log dump diesel, SM log under a tarp. M logs, sorting yard, logs stacked. Locking trailer, trailer truck. You know what? Why not? Yeah, what do we do? Where you go? Yoink kitties, blink. Nah. I am going to take you, move you over here, so that you make a little more sense instead of being in the middle of the road with no truck pulling. Maybe you got loaded, it's ready for an independent trucker to come pick it up. Wood and logs for a mine? Oh, interesting. Now, what was that I chainsaw and sparrow are? Chainsaw and sparrow sound. Something else I've been meaning to work on. The audio cues. I am going to pick the audio cue up so that it's up, not hidden down in the ground. I think, anyway. Hopefully it doesn't show up like that. Maybe it's just kind of one of those things where it's like, it's got a little icon that disappears when you click drive or something, hopefully. I say that like I can't just do that right now. Aha! False. Alright then. Underneath there it goes. Let's see what other sounds we got. 'Cause that's another thing that I've meant to work on along the route. Some sounds. Some of these spots you'll get out in and it's just like dead silent. Yeah, in the middle of the woods, bud. You're probably gonna hear birds. Hmm? Oh, talk about an old asset. Now, one of the things that I do not like about Trainz is trying to get audio out here. Because, as you can tell, there we go. It is really hard to tell where the audio is going to be. It's really hard to tell how far out it reaches. It's one of the few things that I would definitely say Railworks does a lot better. The audio, the ambient audio assets with their big, tall, giant pillars and the radius around them to kind of show where the audio is going to be able to be heard. It makes a lot more sense. It's a lot, well, a lot more usable, I think. Chainsaw sounds, because, you know, out in the woods. Touchy seaside town sound. Hey, you would make sense. Right over here. Hidden behind a building. Hopefully, anyway. Those ravens that piss me off. Caw, 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 caw. Yeah, no. I don't want to be hearing that. That is arguably the most irritating sound. Thank you, approach medium. Yeah, he does really good work overall. I think his root building skills are phenomenal, but oh, I hate those crows with such a passion. You'll spend forever trying to find where they're laid, and then once you find them, you delete all of them. They're frustrating, they're irritating, I hate hearing them. Sink it down in the ground, just in case, but I still want to be able to find them. You know, I kind of need to work on this river too. It doesn't make sense unless there's like a freshwater spring under here. Otherwise it just kind of, boom, water. Aha, another river. Another river sound. So, oh, that's a dude fishing, never mind. I was about to say, is that a sailboat all the way out here? Ambient outback. LOL. Probably be pretty good here in Kina. See, sticks it like a pillar here, and I don't know if it's gonna. Does it disappear? Oh, definitely doesn't. What's it sound like though? Mixed feelings. Almost sounds too busy. Let's take you and move you somewhere hideable. Like right behind here. Boy, that's some interesting steam. Where's that coming from? Unknown. Oh, goodness. Woodpecker. Ooh, 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 frog. There's a bog somewhere. Aha! There's the bog. Yoink. There's a frog. In the bog we placed a frog. Here's a more fitting spot. Matter of fact, there's a sound. W, I assume that's water. One of those water sounds I used because it looks quite a bit like it. Woodpecker. Like right up here. Just see it sticking out. That way I can combine it whenever I need to. And the configurable sounds. I'm not quite sure what you think of that. Shop sounds. Well, what do you know? We happen to have a shop. Shop sounds will probably fit. Yoink. Stick them somewhere nobody will notice. Bam. That way people can find them if they don't like them. People as if I'm it's just me. Just me. It's me, it's me, it's me. Huh? You know what? What are you? What kind of sounds are you? Oh, okay. What a description. How descriptive. The editor says I have edited. I have edited. Thanks. A pub sound. Go out on a wild limb and say it won't belong in the general dentistry. Maybe there's a pub over here in this little building right here. Bam. Where is it? There it is. No, I don't want it there. I want it here. Damn it. Why are you like that? There we go. I'll just move it back with a moving tool afterwards. Oh, you moved and I didn't want you to. Oh. You moved too. Why would you do such a thing? Don't need you though. Damn it. Da 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 bum ba. Insert spline pointer right there. Wham bam. Straighten your butt out. Much better. Move you back to here. Now, I've had the idea of expanding off of here, because it's really one of only two logical places one can expand off of Eagle River that I can think of, that I can reasonably say, you know, that'd be believable. With the other spot being Beaver Cove up there at the end of the line, and thanks to those really sharp curves, I've never been successful in setting up a track that expands off of Eagle River up there that I've ever been happy with. It never turns out kind of correct. Here, we just kind of run into the issue of mountain. Now, there's another spot along the route here that looks like it could have been, like it meant to went off to another logging camper or something, but, you know, it does have a flat grade area. We have a bridge. We have, you know, maybe the remains of a roadbed over here. But, again, switchback. It's a wild climb right here to split off right here. Now, granted, it might work, honestly. I don't know yet. I gotta play with the idea. I gotta see what would fit right here and make sense. Because maybe there is room for expansion. Again, it'd be a really odd spot to expand off of. Especially given a train would pretty much have to come down, stop, back into the yard to dump off his exchange, pick up whatever, pull all the way back out, run around the train, and then up the mountain again. It's a spot that never appealed to me. Anywho, I let my squirrel moment catch up to me. Started to play some sounds when I was supposed to be fiddling around over here. Logging. That seems to be it. Okay. People. Real people. How do they look? Yeah, they look alright. I need you to not be sitting though. I need you standing, yeah. Dang, old boy over here drinking on the job. Hard day out in the lumber yard. Gotta get trashed, you know. That dude over here just kind of standing here. Find me a vehicle. Uh-uh. Yeah, sure. With non-American license plates. Oh well, what can you do? The joys of photo texturing. He's headed out to his car. I can spell People. BS people. Oh. Yeah, maybe he's unloading a box over here for, I don't know, something. Just got a box out of the van, yeah. Boy, the van looks really small. Aha. Annie. Annie looks creepy. Aha. You know what? Where? Oh, where? Aha. That makes sense there. It's like kind of way out. Oh, there it is. Oh, heavens. What a proper duck hunters. They look more like clay trappers than they do duck hunters, but whatever. Ooh, track gang. They never finish. I'ma get canceled. Sean the Master set me free. A Yeti? Well. Oh my goodness. Miss Ethel. Well, we gotta have Miss Ethel somewhere. Where's the church at? There we go. Miss Ethel's at church. Oh, right. The chair. The bench. Let me resolve its location. Whoops. I should have known that was going to happen. That's what I get for thinking. That's okay. I've never been known for thinking correctly. No, you're not walking. I need somebody. Darn it. You're definitely not walking. But you definitely ate it. Yay. Reading the paper. Ah, he just stood up for some reason. A cycler. Is the cycler moving? Ah, the cycler is moving. Do 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 do. Do, 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 do. Oh goodness. You know what? Let's work on some texturing. What do I like? Kind of like his color, maybe. Yeah. Oh. The joys of PBR texturing. You don't want to get rid of all of it. But it's also making the ground look funny if I don't. Gosh, it'd be nice if I could find a good spot to hide it. Well, gosh darn it. Give me that one. I thought this was gonna be simple. I was clearly wrong. This is what I get for thinking. There. Woo! Got nobody inside. Whoops. Whoops. Well, actually. Yeah, it's better. Balls. There we go. Yoink. Yoink. Dang. Whoops. Balls. Huh. Actually fitting. She almost sits perfectly for that. Oh goodness. See if I can get this guy seated. Like this without looking stupid. truck broken. Oh, goodness me. Alright, guys. Well, I think I'm gonna call it for a little bit. I'm tired. I'm worn. It's been a long day. So. Oh, goodness. Hopefully you guys enjoy the video, like watching the progress. Maybe it gives you some ideas. I know I've gotten a couple ideas. Joined a couple Discord places recently and seen what some other people have done and incorporated an idea or two because their idea was better than mine, or their idea was too good to say no to. So, anyways, hope you guys enjoyed the videos, and I will see you next time.